Welcome back to Chiefin' with the Chief, with Chief Pontiac himself, aka Rod Hayes, the big cheese and the big chief on the land. Come on in, come on in. Hey now, man swing. Hot dog man gonna do this thing. Don't want no this, don't want no that. All I want is your natural cash. So we over here once again. They didn't let me out of Instagram jail. I get to come and see the IG part of the family. They had me on grounded. I was stuck at the Facebook side of the family in the house. Couldn't come over here. So now I'm back on the IG side of the family. That being said, I have absolutely nothing to talk about. I have no planned script. I have no messages to give nobody. I'm just on here freestyling, seeing what comes out of this. Maybe the message gonna come out in the course of the discourse. So I have no clue what we gonna be talking about, nor am I overly concerned because y'all gonna start asking questions about stuff y'all wanna know about and making comments like roll the corn. We know the truth now. Right? Listen to the earth speak. Right? Gaddy boy. He get walking around 19 keys. But Yaki awakened. Don't forget, some of this knowledge is forbidden. Billy Carson coming with the intellectual arson to burn an idiot down to the ground. Where all of the herbs come from, say Dr. Saban. You gotta have the herbs compatible with the vibrational frequency of the biological mechanisms of the body. Sadie backwards is Ibis. Ibis is the sacred Banu bird, sacred to Tahuti. Right? And we know Tahuti is Thoth. And Thoth is Hermes Trismegistus. That means he's thrice great. Great scientist, great king, statesman, right? And a wise one able to awaken the minds of the sleeping sisters. They call him a Casanova, a Don Juan. All the time, they just spreading a Promethean flame. The flame of the truth stolen from the gods out of their own coffers. So you can't say it didn't come from them because we got it from them and we showed y'all where it's at. If you don't believe me, free Dr. York. He gonna tell you. Then he gonna show you. Then he gonna write about it. You know he gonna write about it. Right? And free Malachi York is under the banner Free Larry Hoover. Free Angel Bay was under the banner of Free Larry Hoover. Free H. Rap Brown, a.k.a. Imam Abu Jamal Alameen, was under the banner of Free Larry Hoover. Free Mumia, talking New Jersey now. Correspondent, war correspondent, railroaded, whopped upside the head with the police, and the police shot his partner and blamed it on him. That was a good way to get rid of the brother. But we see through the BS. Bring Asada home. She need a full pardon out of New Jersey. ASAP. What y'all waiting on? Queen need to come back, grace her homeland, her territory, her queendom. We're all sitting there holding up people from progress. And the process is the progress. They think we ain't doing nothing. And we just armchair revolutionaries sitting in the armchair, never knowing that we're using the force and power of the Husia. Authoritative utterance, exceptional insight. I'm gonna invite you up here because this is a good question, and we can talk about it. What you mean? I sent you the request. I'm gonna pin the question so you know exactly that I'm talking about you, and won't be no mistake about it.
I got cut the light on. I wasn't expecting that, Roy. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, sweetie. That's
Okay,
a good
amen.
question. I want you to ask it out loud. Cause
I know, but I don't want to be in the dark. I don't. Let me cut
oh
the
yeah,
light
don't
on for
turn
y'all.
don't turn your light on. We want to see your pretty face anyway.
So, oh, turn it on. I thought you were saying don't turn it on.
There you go.
So, how does this work? Because it's a person, and I don't want to say the name right, but I know you know. So it's a person that you was on. I think the African spiritual. I forgot the guy with the gray beard. You
Hmm.
was on his channel, right?
Yeah.
And you was
I
talking
was
about a
talking
few
about some
people,
people that ain't dead.
right? And I'm wondering, how does
Cause
this
you,
work?
you getting messages from them and you think it's coming from the other side.
But the message, but the two things that I got the message from, or I feel like I channeled from this person, they happened. Even
Mhm.
down to the recall. One day I was in my car, and I know this sounds crazy, like I shouldn't even be on here saying this because the way I work at, but I needed to know this damn question.
Mhm.
So one day I was in my car and I was going to go to Wendy's, and I was listening to him burning the blue candles, chiefing that day. So I thought I was tripping, right? So I get in my car, I'm on my way to Wendy's, and I hear him say, yo, cuz, don't eat the beef, right? I'm like, am I tripping? I had one too many today. This back when I used to smoke.
And you
So,
could hear the voice clear like they were sitting in the car with you, right?
yo, cuz, don't eat the beef. I looked around because I was like, I really thought I was on one. So, but something about it when I went, I didn't get the beef. I did everything. It was like he was directing me through some stuff. It was crazy, right? Um, Told me he wanted a baked potato, told me what he wanted on the potato. I'm not a carb eater. I got the potato, I ate it, my stomach instantly started hurting because I didn't want the damn potato. It was him. So I go home, I don't eat the beef. I get to work. When I walk in, my coworkers say they just recalled 62,000 pounds of beef. So that is with the 60s. This person was the 60s, the 62,000 pounds of beef, and I was burning the blue candles all day. And it was like I conjured this up. So that was the first incident. The other ones I don't even feel comfortable saying on Instagram. But I would tell you if you want to know, later.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm perfectly clear on the communication. Now, I'm going to explain to you the mechanics of the communication so you can understand how you can be on either side and communicate. Right? I got to move my question so I can see your face. Okay, so here's the mechanics. The burning of the blue candle is a ritual to connect. The connection is taking place through a genuine love for a person. This is what you call establishing the sympathetic link. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same as calling the phone number, gonna get an answer. Okay, now, once you establish the sympathetic link, if the person on the other end of the link is receptive to your communication, y'all have now opened up a two-way sympathetic link. It's a channel coming through the heart chakra. Okay, now you are going to turn on either your visual senses to see imagery if you learn visually, but you learn by hearing the words best.
Right.
So you can read it, but you won't get it as clear as if somebody read it too. So your audio sensors is the means by which you will engage the person on the other end of the sympathetic link, because that's your learning style. It's called clairaudience, clear sound, clear hearing. The- Once you establish the link, the ones that's called the gods, and the person you talking about was one of the gods. So it's the same way they got you praying, asking an invisible sky daddy, but actually you making the link to a real, genuine earth god.
Right. So even if they on the other side or not, I would still be able to do
You will
that.
still be able to
Okay.
establish the link. Now, by that being an extraction, the link is not it's a telepathic link, and it's direct connection or communication. Now I'm gonna tell you something that happened to me, because he hovering around right now. Triple
Yeah,
X.
and listen, it was he told me one other thing, right? I'm had to be real light about it. Something is going to come out about my beloved because I love her to death. The one he loved too. He said something is going to come out about her, but do not be mad because she didn't have a choice. So he told me that too, and that's as far as I want to go on here. But I and this one other question. I'm not going to take up that much of your time. Um, I'm a Leo and he's a Leo. Do you think that's why it was so easy for him to keep coming through to me?
It's the love frequency.
Okay.
The zodiac energy allows you to be siblings in spirit. So the zodiac symbol of the Leo is the lion.
Right.
So you look at it like a neighboring pride that's related to you, and you can communicate on the same frequency. All of the lions or Leos understand Leos when they click up. Okay, now once you establish that genuine, so your heart got to be pure in order for it to even work. So this say a lot about the character and the person of who you are,
Right.
right? So
Thank
it
you.
tell us that you one of what they call the earth angels. They used to be called oracles of Delphi, daughters of Isis. You are a
Yeah.
blood
So
heir to a portion of the inheritance of the earthborn.
Inanna. Well, Isis Inanna Ishtar, but when she come through to me, she come through to me as Inanna. So
That's my mom.
yeah, she come through to me as Inanna.
Inanna is a title. Isis is a title. Ishtar, Osset, those are titles, not names. Many people have held the title, but the original always incarnate in the person that hold the title. It worked like ceremonial garb. The person performing the ceremony is required to wear this particular outfit.
Okay.
And the telepathic link, right? And you hear me say a lot of time women like Tesla coils. The telepathic link of the earthborn, y'all all connected. Once you get the answer that was concealed from you and you meditate upon the answer, you begin to give the answer to all of the sisters under the same frequency hive mind.
Okay.
And so that's why the saying is, if you heal one, you heal 1,000. But the healing is in the awakening of the power of the self of the divine feminine. When you be in your genuine article self, you open up the frequency of the genuine article universe, the frequency to come through you. This
Okay.
is what they call moving yourself into the mind of God. You thinking like God now, you're not thinking like a mortal, which
Right.
allows you to see all of the devices that was put in to ensnare us, to divide and conquer, the blood rituals and the blood magic, the conjure, the sorcery, and you begin to try to find the sisters who was the original victims, which is your sisters in spirit, the 12
All right.
daughters of Isis.
All right. So it's damn. I said I was hey one more thing. All right. You gotta go or you got time or you need
I'm here for about an hour and a half.
your next person. I don't want to be greedy, but it's all right. One more thing. So Orion, right? What do you remember the connection from Orion and Sirius? Because what, and I know this about to sound crazy, but you know what? I'm gonna say it anyway. What I remember is I remember women, us being on Orion. I remember men being on Sirius, and we merged. And I remember it was five flames, and I remember stepping out the third one. Do you know anything about what I'm saying? Because I know it sounds crazy. All
The
right,
golden
so all
ones,
right,
the original golden ones from the Orion constellation. And the Syrians are the original people from the dog star. They called the Domo in um, Nomo and man, I'm catching brain lock. The Dogon refer to him as the Nomo. When they came here, they were from a different genome. The Earth genome had to be calibrated to the Earth. The mitochondrial right was given to the mothers. Mitochondrial right is also what we call Earth right because the mitochondria in the woman that she passed to her daughters comes from the soil of the earth. It's got a different name as a microorganism in the soil, but its function is the same to provide energy to the soil. That same way it provides energy to your cells. This is your link to Prime Creator. In the light that the reflective rays of Orion and the reflective rays of the Sirius constellation reaches the earth and affects the people who are descendants that come from those areas. The original golden ones was neuter gender, and they didn't replicate through sexual organs. They replicated by separating themselves.
at the fifth dimension.
Mitosis, I think
I
is what
rem-
it's called.
I know that's going to sound crazy. I was like at the fifth dimension. I
Yeah,
feel like it happened at the fifth
because
dimension where we got
they in the
separated.
fifth dimension, you have control of your light body, not just your physical body. What we doing right now, we're having these sessions and explaining to the people who we are. We also are activating the light body of all of the children as they coming in for the new age. The
Okay.
more mothers, I'm not worried about. I already did my work with the brothers. 16 years of penitentiary, sending guys home to become millionaires, and they want to take care of me like I'm their child. I'm not your child. You know, I want you to use your resources to take care of your family because when I get out, I know how to get it from the dirt.
Right.
All right. So when they come to me to help them refine and write business plans and college applications and essays for college programs, I didn't charge them nothing. Now it's my turn to tell y'all how to turn on your power as the divine feminine so that heaven can be returned back to earth. I'm sick of this patriarchal BS,
Yeah, it is crazy. It's wild.
right? So the only way to win is to turn your war story of patriarchy into a love story under the matriarchy. The matriarchy is founded on the first known principle of the universe, and that's the love. That's taught by Larry Hoover,
All right.
right? It's the universal principle of love is taught by Malachi is the Hua, right? But you got to remember the who is the authoritative utterance,
Hmm.
right? But whoa is the universal love energy. So it's the utterance of the universal love energy that comes in the genuine voice of the genuine article telling the truth to the righteous people to affect them in a righteous manner, to make them rise from their slumber. It's the talking to the valley of the dry bones to form the military, the army, the defensive forces. You don't have to fight the war. You just have to rise above the war. They want to keep pulling us in with other people's protests. We already did that.
Yeah, we
It
can't
didn't
go
work.
back to that.
We did it and it didn't work. Why would we want to go do that again?
We definitely can't.
And
But
they told us
I
that
feel like did you ever watch the 100s?
I don't think so.
All right, well I feel like we at the point of that where we supposed to know better than to fight the war. It's the same way like we supposed to know better than to choose the right wing or the left wing. It's the same plane for real. So when you I feel like we supposed to be at a point where we're supposed to know better. I mean, me personally, but I feel like a lot of people get so wrapped up in it and they take it personal, like really really personal. Like they'll stop speaking to people they know over two people on television that they don't know. So I feel like we supposed to be further than that. But thank you. I'm gonna let you go,
All right.
and I'm gonna watch on though. But I'm gonna get off of here so somebody else can ask their stuff
Okay, there's
because
two more people waiting, so I'm gonna let one of them come up because I really didn't have nothing to talk about. So you just
yeah, you
gave
something
me.
to talk about. I'm about to see what they talking about next. All right.
Okay, sweetie. Gianna Biggs, what's up, sweetie? Let's get it in. They say it's another game.
Yo,
Oh,
how you
what's
doing?
going on, broski?
This is wild. I didn't know he was gonna pick me. I just this is wild.
What's on your
This is
mind?
uh I'm just here at the moment. I mean I just express myself right now. I'm just learning how to stay on the righteous path and alchemize the chaos around me, being a pillar. Um it's it's taxing, it's a heavy weight to carry, but this is just where I've been led in this position I play now. That's on my mind, but I seen that you were about to say something about XXX. I don't know if what you're
Yeah.
about to say, but
What you want me to tell you the story?
yeah.
So I got a video on my Ride Hayes, and I was channeled message from XX Tentacion.
Hmm.
He was getting on my nerves because he kept calling me bro. But I didn't know that was to trigger, because when I started complaining about it, I triggered his tribe. I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but once I triggered his tribe, I understood it. But he kept saying, bro, I'm not dead. I'm woke. I'm walking around like everybody else. I'm not dead.
Hmm.
Right. And he was going over Empire Records, telling me about the CEO and the contracts that they was putting in the prices. They was putting contracts on their head for insurance money, right? Because when they were signing their independent record deals for distribution, everybody that signed to Empire, the CEO took out a massive insurance policy. It's called a dead celebrity policy. You ever
Hmm.
hear dead celebrity status?
No.
Okay, so dead celebrity status is when the industry decide that the celebrity is worth more dead than alive.
I've
His
seen this with
legacy,
Nipsey
and
Hussle.
his, like Tupac. Tupac sold more records after they said he was dead than he did when
Hmm.
he was alive. He became a legend, legendary status, which to the industry equates to money. It's
Right.
part of your 360 deal, but if you don't go through with the ritual to penetrate you, and give up your manhood, they kill you off. They try to kill you for real, right? But we have somebody in place that's looking for the contracts on your life so that they could use the entertainment industry in order to get a message to the tribes. This is why they was blocking us out of Hollywood, and they was blocking us from controlling our own musical destiny because we was using the music to communicate all over the land. 'Cause I love music, that good soul music,
Mhm.
just as long as it's grooving, right? So
Mhm.
we love music. It opens the heart link. Well, I was telling the sister earlier about the heart-to-heart connection of two genuine articles telling the truth, reaching out for each other, right? It's the music is a way to strike the heart chakra, right? So when you hear certain people sing, if they tell, like for instance, the song from Phyllis Hyman, "Gonna Make Changes," she got a whole message in the song, but a lot of us will miss the message if we don't have a genuine love for her as an artist. But if you love her as an artist, it's going to tie you into your heartstring. You're going to establish a sympathetic link. And then when you listen to it, she said, going to make changes, going to make minds aware, move with the masses, making changes everywhere, right? She's going to make changes. But these changes, according to the song, was predicated upon her first changing herself in order to get the masses to be aware of the effort she's putting in to make changes,
Right.
right? So at the end, she self-sacrificed. The
Mm.
self-sacrifice is to bring the ultimate attention. Then you're
Mhm.
going to look at who is she trying to expose? Who was
Mhm.
over her career? First person you look at. It's the same way the police say the first person you look at in the murder is the spouse. The
Mm.
first person you look at in the music industry is who's in charge of their career. That's the spouse equivalent.
Right.
In the case of Phyllis Hyman, it was a guy named Clive Davis. Now, if she wanted our attention on Clive, it will be some other people under Clive that have some funny events happening around their life, like Whitney Houston and Bobby Christina, right? Like Angela Bofield, like Luther Vandross,
Right. That's what I was just thinking of.
right? So everybody that Clive touched, you could tell the tree by the fruit it bear. He trained Diddy, and his name never came up. Let that sink
So
in.
sorry to interrupt.
Everybody know he trained Diddy. Diddy had three handlers. The first one was Andre Harrell. He couldn't handle him, so he got rid of him and gave him to Clive. Clive, in turn, helped him set up Bad Boy Records and tied him into distribution, right? Now, he got another handler. His other handler go by the name of Russell Simmons. But when the heat started coming down, when he seen Tupac, he got out of Dodge because he understood from the culture who Tupac was and that he came to expose all of the corruption, right? And he needed a lot of people involved with him exposing the corruption. He needed people to try to be independent and successful so we can see the industry trying to shut him down. So he recruited a team, and Biggie was his lieutenant, right? The East Coast West Coast beef was it was a CIA
Psyop.
media operation And so we used it to our advantage. We knew what they was doing, so we reenact the historical event that the tribes do. When you getting this public tongue lashing from a chief that's correcting the chief that was in error, you just remain silent because you know you was wrong. Biggie Chief Sitting Bull, the only person that can discipline him in the ranks of spirituality is Tupac Amaru, that was on the scene at the time. So how do you discipline him? You give him a public flogging. You tear his ass up in the public domain, but his non-response is the critical part that we need. His lack of response becomes critical because now we know he have the skill set to retaliate in verbal fashion from the songs that he already got out, but he don't really respond. Why he say he didn't respond? He said he wasn't entertaining they media bullshit. That's what he said.
Mm.
Now, if he was Tupac lieutenant, like Tupac said, if any validity to what Tupac said, that means the lieutenant not gonna turn on the general, but the lieutenant will play a role in order for the general's plan to be carried out successfully. Right? Biggie in Jamaica. Heard a rumor I was dead on the street. Bullshit, nigga, getting head on the beach. So they
Tell him.
tell you they leave clues. But if you don't have a love, a genuine, a pure heart love for the art form, for the artists, and for the warfare that we going through, the ability to win, you won't never tie
Mm.
it to Native American wind talk, cold talk. We all
Mm.
code talkers. So we
Right.
use the common language in a certain fashion where the tribes in Chicago can communicate with the tribes in LA, and the tribes in LA can communicate with the tribes in Miami, and the tribes in Miami can communicate with the tribes in New York. Now we got the whole land covered. We talking, and they just calling it music. The Chiefs is out here. We telling y'all what's going on, but the media's assault is telling y'all we insane. We don't know what we're talking about. But the receipts that we produce say this is an undisputed. What Tupac tell you about in white man's what's it called? White man's world? He say they tell me it's the white man I should fear. It's my own kind doing all the killing here. What is he talking about?
Us.
Talking about the black hand.
Us. Them.
Yeah. They look like us, but they ain't us. Go back to
Mm.
the Death Row East announcement when he say this is chess, not checkers. He said we've been had them checkmated 3 years ago. Now we trying to get the imposters out. What's the use to winning the war and you still got the infiltrators in your mix? So you create a compelling spectacle and make them and draw them out. We know they sleeper cells, but we also know they on the FBI and confidential informant list. They also on the local police confidential informant list. They part of the FBI snitch program. They the boule working for the system, right? So once we understand that part, we could begin to see that everybody was playing the part, but they was all doing something different. And that we had the same enemy, but we didn't know that the enemy was making us fight each other because they can't beat us. The only people that can beat us is us. So they turned us against each other in hopes that we won't never figure out what they did. Therefore, we end up annihilating ourselves, right? And that leaves them with the spoils of our um, heritable rights. It ain't gonna happen on my watch because I'm gonna explain it to you so you can know exactly what I'm talking about and what they doing. It was feathers versus feds. They look like us, but they ain't us. We see you too, Black Devils.
Hmm.
Every time the peaceful congregate, they come in with some shenanigans, trying to cause a disruption. They the heckler in the comedy show. Everywhere you go, they heckling somebody.
I call it the noise.
Yeah.
I call it the noise. This is a wild intersection. Like this is wild. I just found out about you from B Dale's one of you guys' panels. It was you, B Dale, and another brother. And I went down your rabbit hole, followed your Instagram because you speak in the language, the code, what I understand. Um, so I was listening to one of your videos. I think it was last week, and you're speaking about shrooms, how you make a whole meal, like you make a sandwich with the shrooms. I thought that was funny. Like I was cracking up at work. So I'm wondering, like, I just can you just go into some shrooms, like the just some wisdom about it because I want to be more intentional about it. And I always tell people naturally I'm off of shrooms naturally. So when I'm on it, I'm always having clarity, insight. It's just beautiful. It's just it's not for fun. It's for like it's for clarity for me. But I just want to listen to you about speak about it if you don't mind.
Oh yeah. Well, if I tell a lot of people when they ask me about the psilocybins, because it's always anytime you finna open up the mind that's never been opened before, panic can set in, which will cause a bad trip. So I always tell people that
Mm-hmm.
ask me about it to either find a mushroom shaman or find somebody that's done it several times to do it with so that they know if you start having a bad trip, they can steer you back to a better place because they got the experience. Right. But normally the bad trip is the first sign that you're not doing your self work.
It's just a so you know I'm on the same page. I'm past that. Like I'm in love. You know, like some that stuff. I'm actually the person who would pull me out, but I'm fire shot. But naturally, I've been put in this light. So now it's more just me taking. Like I've arrived, but I understand when I arrived, this is the beginning, and I arrived 2021. So I'm here. I've been here for a while in reality, and I'm, the rabbit hole deep, but I'm on my feet. That's all I
So
can
you,
say.
you see TJ6 say that to me, I grow them things. He'd be a good person, a person that's been in it long enough to be growing them. They can keep you in a joyful trip, keep you laughing, keep you upbeat. Because soon as if you haven't done the self work and you bring up the trigger, it's gonna give you all this dark shit. That's what the bad trip is. Lack of self work. You got unresolved traumas, and the mushroom gonna make you see it, right? So when you ain't doing the self work of dealing with your bullshit, your own issues, you need a guide in order to keep you from having a trip that can cause you to have a heart attack. The heart attack is not from the mushroom; it's from the terror of the unresolved issues that you carrying with you. You see what Lady Langston Hughes say? Mushrooms magnify whatever the current status.
Mm.
It's going to tell you, right? And if you get in touch with psilocybin, which is the spirit of the mushroom, he say he liked that name. That motherfucker came in on a light show to me. I was laying there, I see all these flashing blue. I got my eyes closed, mind you, but it looked like a disco floor with all these red and blue flashing lights. I'm like, what the hell is this? And as soon as I said that, he said, I'm psilocybin, the spirit of the mushroom. That shit was so funny to me. I bust out laughing. And he started telling me the whole rundown, the history of the mushroom and where they came from. He told me the Teros brought them here to help open up the mind of the people who was denied ascension rights. That's why paleface been eating mushrooms, and we thought they was crazy for eating, but they was
Yeah.
been used by us thousands of years. It's not new. The purpose of them is to open up your consciousness, stretch your brain out, your mind, because once you expand the mind, it can't go back. It can't
Hmm.
go back. You broke free now. You can't go back. And I mean that now you got to give yourself time to organize whatever it is in your mind, and then you able to use that extra space of the stretched mind.
So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. The self work past. Obviously, the maintenance is never over, but I'm at the point where I'm exploring the stretch and learning more. So the path I'm on right now is I'm an artist in I'm not in the industry, but I'm an artist and I'm speaking the truth. I can't play the charade. I can't play the game. Um, that's where I'm at, and I'm trying to contain myself on this live, but this excites me. Like this is really what I do. This is really what it is, and it's time. It's now. Like I'm alive. It's time. We here. It's that. There's no time to play. There's no time to look back, live in the past. It's right now. Like that's the energy I'm on. And
That's
with
your
this music,
masculine.
say it one more time.
That's your masculine. Your divine masculine is activated.
Yeah.
Because your character is more no nonsense. When the divine masculine energy is activated, right? You could be a comedian, but when you say enough is enough, people are gonna be like, "Oh, hold on, he said enough is enough. It's time to stop."
Hmm.
Ain't gonna be no kiki and ha ha when you step into that energy and it projects itself. When you step into a room, it affects people. The women waiting on us to re-embody that divine masculine energy because it brings their divine feminine from the background to the forefront.
I can't keep containing it no more. I can't. I can't do it. We can't
Well,
do it.
it ain't nothing wrong with being dangerous, but be dangerous under control. Because if you're dangerous out of control, you bring destruction up on yourself.
I agree. I want to express myself. I want to say this like it's not strange, but the way like I came up, it happened perfectly to where I don't abuse aggression or I don't abuse violence because I was controlled my whole life, suppressed. But because I was suppressed, I learned how to actually I shied away from the danger. So when I got back into it, I already had the control aspect. I actually sometimes I shy away from the danger, but recently I learned how to actually appreciate appreciate it, like appreciate it because it's necessary.
But we need men to be, since when you say no, you mean no. When you say yes, you mean yes. We don't need the ones that no mean yes and yes mean. We don't need them kind of guys. You can't trust them under pressure.
Right. Their liabilities.
Yeah, you can't trust them under pressure. We need men to be men. Stop trying to be a woman. Be a man. If you're a man, stop trying to be.
Mm.
It's not an attack on alternative lifestyles, but we here for a purpose. If you're gonna be here and you got the equipment, you're supposed to be here to fulfill that purpose that you came here, right? And our purpose as males is to rise up and evolve into the divine masculine so that the women can turn earth into heaven. They can't do it as long as we low vibrational, down low, creeping with dudes. They can't, because that's right there is it's a direct affront to survival. You can take 50 men and 50 cross dressers, put them on an island, and let them die, and in 200 years they're gonna excavate 100 men.
What's that
You can
mean?
put
Excavate.
50 men and 50 women on the island. In 100 years, you're gonna have descendants. The island can be overpopulated. See, it's a difference. Productivity versus non-productivity. Our captors, the one that's been feeding us this misinformation that we've been living by, is the ones who don't want us to populate the earth, and they don't belong here. So they want to have us in controllable numbers. They systems of control, and they tell you what it is: sociology, the study of the movement of people, how people interact in groups. So that once you understand how the science to it, now you can see that they're using it in real time. But if you don't know the science, you never knew they was using it in your face, behind your back.
So, how long did it take for you to come to this point where you see the plot and you see?
Always have. The hard part for me was to see it. The hard part to me was explaining to the people that had been pre-programmed about the program that they couldn't see. I had to learn how to explain to children how the minds of humanity was hijacked in order for regular people, adults, to understand it.
So, do you? This is a question. Do you think that? Because personally, a part of me knows like, okay, I'm not supposed to tell everybody this stuff. I'm not supposed to teach or help, try to help. When they're ready, things will align for them to receive. So in that process, do we necessarily learn how to explain higher forms of thoughts?
First, you have to understand it. So once you understand it, you can explain it to people with a lower intelligence easier because you know exactly what's taking. Like I explained the mechanics of how somebody could be living and the sister can make contact with them while they alive. People think you got to be dead. You don't got to be dead. It's just got to be a genuine affection that's establishing the sympathetic link, and you can communicate.
And this is only with blue candles. What about white
No,
candles?
she was using blue candles for a specific person because the person was tied to the color blue. That was already the first step in the link. Then
Okay.
she used the candle as fire magic. She's a Leo, he's a Leo. So now they talking through the flame, right? If when her heart was pure, she established that link because his heart was pure. And when one of the Oracle sisters, the Delphi sisters, daughters of Isis, and many other names they went under, is reaching out to one of the gods, the earth gods. We spirits of the earth in physical form. And she's genuine, he's gonna respond to her however he can get the message to her, depending on her learning style. So you do different stuff on your altar, right? And then the food connection is for if y'all both have a common interest in food. That common interest is like putting an amp on a kicker box, right? Every time you add something to it, you add wattage to the connection. And if y'all both grateful for the connection, gratitude expands the bandwidth, meaning more energy for communication can transfer between the two people. Now you establishing what's called a quantum entanglement in two people, and it can instantaneously exchange information. So she went over the information that was being exchanged.
Okay. Okay. All right. I don't want to take more of your time up. This was not. I don't want to say crazy. This was amazing. I'll say it was amazing. Just to be able to talk to you one on one in front of everybody else. Peace and love to everybody watching. I love y'all. Let's stay balanced. Let's keep pushing. Let's stay. Let's stay. Let's stay. Let's
Appreciate
not
you
let.
for coming up, brother. It was a good conversation. It was able to give people insight on some stuff based on the questions you asked. So that's why I do this like this.
Yes, sir. The honor is mine. The honor is mine for real. My name's Jihan, by the way.
All right, Jen. I appreciate you. I'll catch you later.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. Stephanie. Come on, Steph. What you doing? You better accept that. I accepted your request. You better pop up. Come on in. You the next contestant. Chiefing with the chief. Can you can,
Hey, can
can you hear me?
you see me?
Nope, I can't see you. I don't know if the people can see you. If y'all
Hmm,
can see her, can y'all give me a one? I can't see her.
I can. I can see you though. Hey,
Okay.
how are you?
I'm good. How you doing, sweetie?
I'm fine. Hey, I have just a quick question. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you did a talk with B. Dell and that other gentleman.
Mm-hmm. We have spirituality.
Yeah, you were talking about who you thought were particular Star Wars characters in the great drama type of thing.
Yeah.
Um, maybe it's there it is. Now you can see me. All right. So I was curious. You were listing off different ones, and you
Mm-hmm.
had listed. You had said something about Yoda, and then the conversation moved, and you didn't finish it. So I was
Yoda,
wondering who you thought
Yoda,
Yoda was.
Yoda is supposed to be Tahuti.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that makes sense, I guess, since he has all the wisdom and everything. I just thought it was odd that you were breaking down Star Wars characters in that conversation.
Yeah.
That was it. Huh?
They use theater in order to tell you the same stories with slight variations in the story. We call
Right.
those variations exaggerations.
Well, I know that Billy Carson had listed the Terror Papers as something that was talking about the Jedi actually being real people,
Yeah,
but I haven't read that yet,
yeah.
so I was
That
just
was
curious.
a priestly order out of
The
Kemet.
Jedi's?
Yeah,
Okay.
named after the Jed pillar.
Which transfers consciousness, correct?
The Jed pillar is a energy balancing. It's like scanning yourself with a CAT scan, EKG, EEG, and all that stuff at the same time, and then
Okay.
correcting where the area frequency wise.
Kind of like what Reiki masters do with
Yeah,
the
but only is they Reiki masters, what's called Reiki masters,
mhm.
was able to use the Jet pillar to amplify whatever they can do using the regular Reiki.
Okay, that makes sense because they use tools now that are similar in terms of like the I can't even remember what they're called, but they're like a prong or something. Okay.
The tuning forks.
Yeah, tuning forks. Yeah.
Yeah. So the tuning fork is just to find the frequency that they want to
Earbuds.
attune to. The
Okay.
J pillar is to amplify the effect of whatever form of Reiki they're doing. It's like putting a kicker box in your car versus having two 6x9s in your back.
Right.
Now you turn it up. You got two 15s, 1,000 watt amp, a set of tweeters, mid ranges, and you got a whole broader, more full spectrum of sound. So the J pillar is an amplifier for
Mhm.
the energy that the Reiki masters is utilizing to give them more control, and they're able to do what we call it today orthoscopic surgery.
Right.
It was the same principle, but it's all energy, no scalp.
I think it's funny that you mentioned 15s because I used to have some in a custom box in my hatchback. So
What kind of
I
hatchback
like
you
that
have?
example. Huh?
What you had, a Chevette?
No, I had a Toyota Celica,
Oh
and I
yeah,
had a
them
guy
was
build a
notorious.
custom box for me. So we have
Everybody,
15s back there. Huh?
everybody with a Celica had booming systems and louvers on the back window and ground
Boom.
effect kits.
I had, the extra speakers in the back there, my CD changer, the whole thing. So I like that example. All right, well that I don't want to hold you up or anything. I was just curious about that.
Okay, sweetie. Thank you.
All right, talk to you later.
Yeah, I gotta talk to my brother. I ain't talked to him in a minute. Ball family truth. He's dropping jewels in his posts. What's up, Big Chief?
Man, you the big chief, man. What's going on?
Just taking
You,
it
you the big
easy.
chief, man. What's happening?
Ain't nothing, just trying to wake people up, answer a few questions here and there, see how I can reach the most people effectively.
No, you ain't trying, chief. You ain't trying, comrade. You doing this shit, my nigga. Yeah, come on now.
Shit, you good. Your post be good assistance. Scotty
Well,
Pippen. I'll be Michael Jordan. You be Scotty Pippen. We play
go
that
ahead.
game.
Well, go ahead and throw that layup there, man. I got it. I got it. Yes, sir. Man, rap with you in a minute, chief.
Yeah, man. How you been down there?
It's okay, man. You seen how crazy it is down in the M town, man. Like you said before, Memphis is Memphis, and it's different. Goddamn
And
it.
look, Memphis wear their heart on their sleeve. You can't come down there with no BS, or you're gonna leave out in the box.
You
I
better know it, my
guarantee you
nigga.
that.
You better know it. Cause look, we might fight in war amongst each other, but you can't come here with that bullshit.
No. Memphis is critical to this awakening too.
Yes, sir. Yes,
It's
sir.
a it's a tribal metropolis that's as ancient as the Americas.
Right. I
You know.
sent you the post on it, man. Did you get a chance to look at it? I know you get so much shit.
I don't know. I haven't been able to check my Instagram mail in a couple of weeks because it'll when I try to scroll down, it'll pop back
Right.
to the top. It won't let me check my Instagram mail.
Man,
But
check that out, man. Cause I broke down I ain't break it down, but I put the idea together about how this spot was the mound builders' main spot. And the
so
Mississippians, and I tied it to the Mississippians like you did. It's
yeah,
nice. Check the post out if you get a chance.
I'm gonna get check it out. I'm gonna share it too.
Right.
Share it too. But it's
Look at
a
it.
connection. So when you talk about the three cities of Kemet, Heliopolis is the city of the sun. That's LA,
Yes, sir.
right? Then you had Thebes. That's the city of thieves. That's Chicago. And
Right.
then
Which
you
I
had Memphis. And it's straight up Memphis, and there ain't no change in Memphis. Memphis is as Memphis is.
tell
Flat
you
out.
now.
They
Memphis
not gonna
different, man.
sugarcoat it for you. They gonna tell you exactly how it is, and then you're gonna have to figure it out from there. Because if you make the wrong move, turn down the wrong block, you're gonna come up in my head.
I'm telling you now. I'm
That's
telling
a,
you now. I
and I don't even live in Memphis, but I know when I go down there how to respect the people from the town.
yeah, I see some pilots giving me some shout out. Hey, Orange Mound forever, baby. This Orange Mound over here, baby. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
My Memphian folks.
yeah. That's why when I be talking and I address certain areas, the people know that I know what I'm talking about because I don't live there and I'm explaining their culture, how they live on a day-to-day basis. They're like, you know exactly what he's talking about, and he don't live here.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
that's part of knowing the cultures on the land, reading the signs. That's why when I used to talk to the elders and I used to ask them questions, they the ones that told me to pay attention to the differences in the cities. But they didn't tell it to me like that. They gave me like a innuendo.
Okay.
Right. So like my father took us to my sister went to the military. She graduated. We went to her graduation in and graduated from what's the name of that shit?
School.
I forgot what it's called. But we ended up going down there to it was in Alabama. It was Huntsville.
Oh, okay.
So it's a military base right outside of Huntsville. And that's when my sister graduated. So when we got there, I didn't know why my father got me talking to all these old people. I don't know these people. You don't either. Why do I got to talk to all these old people? And I'm the only one you make me talk to them.
Yes, sir. I already know where you're going. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So when you go talk to the elders, they tell you stuff about the culture from their area, right? Sometimes you meet them when you catch a bus somewhere. It'd be an old head catching the bus. He might be taking a short trip, and you just on there long enough for him to give you a couple of clues about where he's from.
Man, y'all listen to what this man saying. He told y'all he not from here, but he talking about something I actually went through. I was around nothing but the elders when I was little. I was a little scrub running around here, 11, 10, 12 years old, but I hung around the old folk, and they taught me the game, man. Real talk.
Yeah. And that's how you know the ones that was picked in the family that's gonna be a chief because they the little kids is always stuck up under somebody, grandmama or grandpa.
Yes, sir.
And the rest of the kids get to go spend the night over Uncle Johnny's house and have all the fun, but I gotta stay here with these snuff different elders.
You hear me? Drinking Coca-Colas all damn day.
Yeah. Talking mad trash, playing Tonkin spades.
that's how I learned to slap them motherfuckers, Chief.
Yeah.
But there's a wide history here. It's a lot. Hey, it's a lot. If Mississippi could talk, it would have a whole lot to motherfucking say, man. You
Yeah.
hear me?
And I'm the voice of Mississippi right now, and I'm telling you, everybody out on the land, so y'all know we ain't never went nowhere.
We ain't went no motherfucking where. Been right here, ancestor through ancestor, generation through generation. No matter how fucked up we are, we still here.
Yeah.
10 toes down.
Mississippi. Some of it, like I'm Mississippi clay dirt walking, but you hear them folks from Alabama, they say I'm Alabama clay dirt walking. We know what's
Shit.
going on. We the ones from Georgia talking about they Georgia clay dirt. They know the whole South got that clay dirt.
They already know. My mama used to tell me the story, Rod, that they used to be out there making them pies and shit with that clay, eating that sweet dirt. My
Mm-hmm.
nigga, talking about eating what? Magnesium, manganese, zinc, vitamin K. You hear me? Not to mention the gases of the universe.
Yeah, it's all in that clay dirt. The
It's
clay
in
dirt.
it.
They used to eat that clay dirt. They never get sick.
And they didn't. Cheap. This man bagging it up. I'm telling you, man, they didn't get sick. My grandmama didn't even have a motherfucking refrigerator and lived to 80 something years old, my nigga.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah,
Eating that dirt, eating that clay, and eating that sun, eating them watermelons.
it's also a detox. It's also drawing out the heavy metals. The clay dirt is a magnet for heavy metals.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Especially
they
copper, right?
all the heavy metals is like iron, aluminum, the
Okay,
stuff that
heavy
you don't
metals. I
want a
got
whole lot. You don't want the wrong isotope.
you. Yes, sir.
The ones that make the body break down, right? Causes the nerve cells to misfire because they set up when you can't metabolize it, it's settle at the ending of the nerve cells.
Mm. Now you
So
telling me something now.
that's electrical current production. You get too much heavy metals, it blow out neurons, nerve cells.
Hmm. This was causing people to have numbness and shit like that in their
Yeah,
body.
fibromyalgia.
Right.
Fibromyalgia is an imbalance in electrolytes. Your
Look at that.
electrical body is not properly firing. Roll the corn, baby, roll the corn. Somebody said
Mm.
roll the corn. You know, the corn is sacred to the tribes all over the land.
Yes, sir.
That's why
And
you
they
can
had,
grow corn anywhere in the Americas, and you'll
yes,
get the
sir.
sweetest, bestest corn.
That's what they grew me up in, my godparents. They were sharecroppers. They had corn stalks in the neighborhood, my nigga. You hear me? Had corn stalks in the neighborhood. That's how I learned how to shuck corn and all that shit.
Hmm. Well, when they used to put it with the pit masters. You know, Juneteenth used to be our barbecue season for the tournaments that the big mamas used to hold all throughout the South. They told us it had something to do with freeing slaves so they could monetize it. It got nothing to do with freeing slaves. The Juneteenth day was counted backwards from the solstice, the summer solstice, right? And when they get to a certain day before that, that's when they butcher the cattle. Back then, we was butchering elk, moose, and bison, but when the European came, we started butchering cows and pigs. And then
Mm.
they was barbecuing for about a week straight. And that's why Juneteenth covers from the 13th to the 19th with an undetermined date.
But ain't that Juneteenth shit some bullshit though,
That's what I
Chief?
was just explaining to you.
Right, okay.
I was
Shit.
explaining to you where it came from, how they was
Right,
commoditizing our culture, tying it to some slave liberation bullshit.
right.
Right. Then we had the different strains of what we call ruby corn. Right. You had the different colors of the different stones was the color of the different corns, which represented a different tribe. Every tribe, all of the Southwest tribes had their own colorful strain of corn.
Damn, that's where them multicolored corn come into play at
Yeah,
then.
yeah. That
Ain't
was
there
all
some
part
shit?
of that was all part of the festivals or festivities for that period of time leading up to the summer solstice when we was doing the cooking of the barbecue and the pit masters, the pitman
Right,
family,
right, right.
right? They the
And
ones dig the trench, put the wood in the trench. Back then, they wasn't using charcoal. They would
no,
use a chunk of coal and a whole bunch of wood.
whole bunch of damn wood, especially that goddamn like what is it? The tree, the pecan tree,
Hmm.
walnut tree. Man, put a
Yeah,
taste in that shit, man.
you have the oak tree,
The oak too, yeah,
you have the cherry wood,
man.
and you know
Ooh-wee.
that's where the name Pittman come from because that was the family that used to win most of the time. They
Yes, sir.
became known as the Pitmen,
Show
pit
was. You
masters.
show
They
right.
was barbecuing pit masters.
Man, back in the day, there was the biggest shit going on in Pittman.
Hmm.
Come on, Chief. Shit. Well, you know some shit that don't nobody know you know that shit. Come on with it.
Yeah, so
Man, yeah. So people need to get up off of that shit, Chief. That old celebrating that damn Juneteenth shit, man. You know.
no, it was already our shit before it was a Juneteenth. We was already doing it. That's how they was using it to monetize it because we gonna keep doing what we always been doing. They just got to figure out how to get the money out of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The way that they doing it, we ain't doing our own thing and taking care of our own
Right.
business.
It's supposed to be the family reunion season because everybody's
Absolutely.
supposed to leave with a sizable portion of the cooked meat, the
As
smoked
opposed
meat.
to
That's
right,
supposed
as
to,
opposed to European holidays, that's our shit.
yep. So that was to carry them through the summer.
Till the summer solstice.
And that was to last until the fall equinox. When you come in, what they call Halloween, that was pumpkin harvest. That's why the pumpkin is synonymous with Halloween. Because we
Yeah.
used to have at the pumpkin harvest, we used to have the kids go out, pick the pumpkins, pick the corn and all that. And then we have a big cooking festival at the end of it. That was held, the pumpkin harvest was held on October 31st on the Gregorian calendar. But we
Right.
didn't count it. We didn't never count it from the Gregorian calendar perspective until the European came. We counted it from where is the fall equinox because we harvesting crops. The last harvest or the conclusion of the pumpkin harvest, because it started on the October 31st and it lasts all through November until the turkey hunt come in. The turkey hunt is to honor the new chief. They turned it into Thanksgiving and told us it
Right.
was a Christian holiday, but ain't nowhere in the Bible where it talk about a Thanksgiving dinner.
No, sir.
That we was already doing that. That's why they was able to slaughter us on Black Friday. We doped up on marijuana, alcohol, and tryptophan from all that turkey.
Tripping out.
Yeah. The tryptophan is like a sedative that's in the meat of the turkey.
Right. Right.
Right. But we didn't have an issue with it before the Europeans decided to slaughter us the day after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is not the problem. It's a continuation of something we already did, rebranded under the colonizers'
Colonizer.
control system.
Right.
They took our culture, fed it back to us, and renamed it so we don't know that they really talking about something we already did. Even if you go to the Thanksgiving narrative as they give it to us, they tell us the natives invited the colonists to a feast.
Cold game.
They tell us. We already was doing it, or else we wouldn't have been inviting no colonists there. The purpose of the feast, because after you get done with the feast, this is when you pass out the preserved food for the winter,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you have all the way, the last shipment went out on the winter solstice. They gave us Christmas on the winter solstice to monetize something we already did.
Something we already doing. Cold game, man. And
We,
look, it ain't no different, Rod, from what this is stories being retold, right? The commissions did the same thing, letting the motherfucking Hyksos in. Am I right?
the Hyksos was the timer who made in Egypt. They didn't let him in. They bred him.
Well, who was that they let in with great good tidings, and they got tricked by these motherfuckers?
No, they didn't get tricked by the. This is what happened. You talking about the Hyksos, but
Okay,
The Hyksos was part of the breeding program of the Egyptians, right? They was called Tamahu in the writing, and then
okay, that's right. Yeah,
the pharaoh began to marry or take into his harem the women from the Tamahu.
from the Tama.
Same thing the Moors did in Europe,
Yeah,
and they produced
yeah.
offspring. And if the prime wife don't have children, then the concubine's children be in line for the throne. That's how the Hyksos married into power and took over. That's the story. I think that's the story of Esther in the Bible. The Jewish lady who convinced the king to protect her people, and
Yeah,
then her
yeah,
people ended up taking over.
yeah,
I think it's the story of Esther, if I'm mistaken.
right. That's the one they go by in the Eastern Star.
hmm Because it's
Yeah,
telling you the history. Right.
right.
So when you look at a Khazarian is a Tamahu and a Moor.
Hmm.
But the thing that they didn't know is the Tamahu was from Earth. So they had more Earth rights than the Moor that ain't from Earth.
Look at that. Look at that shit. Ooh wee.
So they needed to figure out how to control the Earth. So they used the byproduct. They couldn't make them full royalty. So what did they do? They made them put them over to finance. That's how they became bankers, Rothschild bankers.
Now that's these dirty Moors that you talking about right now, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. The righteous one had nothing to do with it, but he had to suffer. The good had to suffer with the bad. It's a side effect to that though, because the good that's suffering with the bad is building up pre-karma. That means that when the bad ones get their karma, we get everybody's reward.
Look at that shit. Pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it was a rainbow, but I know it was a nasty goddamn trick.
God damn, Rod. Damn.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna take two more people, man, and I'm gonna wrap it up.
Okay, Rod, man. Appreciate it. It's good talking with you again, cuz, and we'll
Always,
rap again.
man. Always. You know, me and you
Yeah.
get to talking, we done left everybody out.
Man, I want to talk some other shit, but look. Like I told you before, when you get ready to come to the end town, I got you, cuz. You hear me?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll be down there soon.
Yes, sir.
I,
All right.
I can't tell you when. I know it'll be after July.
Okay.
I'll be
Okay.
free
Well,
after that.
yeah, we need to see what's going to happen after 4th of July or some shit like that first anyway. Ain't
Yeah, boy, you got a couple of critical dates to look for a significant event on.
mm,
The 4th, the 6th, and the 19th.
wow. Okay.
But whatever the event is, it's gonna be like lighting a fuse to something that's gonna transpire between September and October. That's when the big stuff gonna go down.
Look at that shit, man. Look at that. See that energy of I ain't trying to pat my back, but you know how much shit we done hit just in this little short time we've been rapping.
You know what?
I said I know in this short time that we've been rapping, we done hit too many bullets, too many points.
Oh yeah,
Yes, sir. All right, Rod. Appreciate that, man.
all the time, man, all the time. Organic section. Like somebody posted a question for me to answer. Can you speak on the land of DC? It's not DC no more. That's all I can tell you. It ain't DC no more. Um, I already went over enough DC stuff. Yo,
Hello.
hey there, how you doing?
Hi there. Can you hear me? Can you see
I
me?
can hear you. I can see you.
Okay. All
Looking
right,
cute as you
good.
want to be. Looking cute as you want to be.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your information, and we definitely appreciate it.
You
Oh,
welcome.
hold on. I hear an echo. Do you hear an echo?
Mm-mm. I don't. Not on this end. I don't hear it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's fine. I just had two questions actually that I wanted to ask. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but my first question was about um truth seekers that want to talk about everything that's actually going on in the universe, and trying to find and develop genuine connections with others that are
Like
also
mine.
seeking truth. Among all the programming that people are going through right now, it's hard to find genuine connections. It's hard to find genuine friends to talk about these things. It's hard to find relationships. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on that.
When you have a difficult time finding like-minded people, it's because the universe had you in isolation. It's a lot of people that's like-minded and just good quality people, but you can't see them right now because you're supposed to be in your isolation stage. Before you become the
Mm,
butterfly, you have to first go into the cocoon.
mm,
You in the part where you can't see none of them because your vision is veiled from them so that you could do your isolation work. Your isolation period is the time when you do the self work. You do your cleansing, your meditations, you get your focus, and you
mm,
determine how can I make my life heaven on earth. That's the only thing that you're concerned about during the isolation period. But as you develop the program, your isolation, the people start straggling in slow at first, and then you get a wave of people that come
mm.
in, depending on what you're doing. But the isolation period is for the self work. We all go through it. I see the answer
Okay.
processing for you.
Okay. um, yeah, no, that definitely hits. Um, I also had a question about the 13th sign, off Eucus, or the 13th constellation, if you had some words on that.
The real 13th seat is called the Great Mother Seat, the Tower Red. It's the eye. It's the um, point in the eye. That's the black dot. It's the symbolism for it, right? So when your pupil dilate in the darkness, this is the opening up of the mind's eye to see through the darkness. So it's allowing more light to be captured by the optic nerves and the cones in the back of the eye. So the true 13th seat is called the Queen Mother seat, and it's a reference to the Great Mother Taweret, who was the first symbol that was used to depict a deity on Earth. It's the oldest god known on Earth. Is Taweret, other than Earth
Um,
itself.
okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate the information.
You're welcome, sweetie.
That's all. That's all I have. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Thank you
Let me
for
know if
coming up
you
and
see.
asking your question.
Sorry, was that?
I said, thank you for coming up and asking your question. Maybe somebody
Yes,
got
thank you
something.
for sharing your information. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right. I'll talk to you
Everybody
later.
on here, keep speaking your truth. Blessings and love to you.
All right, sweetie. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye bye.
Somebody had asked about LSD. LSD is synthetic psilocybin. It's man-made psilocybin. It's using the chemical composition of the psilocybin um, in order to make a synthetic substance.
Ha 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 ha!
Peace,
Big
peace,
brother.
peace, my man. How can I help you today?
Come on, man. You remember Zoe. You remember me. I was going to ask you to leave. I would bring Zoe on here. It was a while ago. You ain't got to remember. I just wanted to say what's up, man. Peace
Oh,
and
okay.
love.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it.
I ain't got no questions because we talk in a different way, man.
Hmm.
I'm
I feel,
DeAnthony from Detroit.
yeah,
Givens.
yeah. Matter of fact, you got Facebook?
Yeah.
Inbox me on Rod Hayes so we can link up.
I already know that. Man, all I want to do, I want to say you do what you got to do, and you are always there for people who understand. Mother Sucker traveled through the skies, traveled through minds, traveled through hearts. I don't want to take up much time. I ain't got no questions because ever since we've been talking, we hit on more deeper of a level than anything. And I go through things I go through. We come back to reality with these mother suckers because it don't matter what I was taking through, what anything is. That light gonna shine and we gonna shoot that love up.
Yeah,
And the sun gonna put it back on us. We're gonna cry, we're gonna do whatever we wanna do. But at the end of the day, can't nothing fuck with us. Cause we got the big mama, we got the family, we got the papa, we got the co-creators of creation in here with us. And that's on the inside. I do want you to talk about these different colors of corn and then the dance of the different colors of people because if we share that them things run together with me because the corn is different colors and everybody dance is different. So I would like you to touch on that, my good sir. But I just wanted to say what's up, and we always have our conversations, and I appreciate you, my brother. Big
okay.
Mama
Appreciate
dropping, ain't nobody touching nobody. I seen you in that white suit, talking about you ain't want no monkey suit, you would fly. But
it.
anyway, go
Yeah,
ahead.
that wasn't no suit. That was a two-piece Hindu outfit. That
It
wasn't no
looked
that wasn't no
believable.
That wasn't no monkey suit. That was
No, no,
one.
I know you said you hated monkey suits.
Yeah, I hate the. I hate them. The pale suits are Masonic.
I was saying you looked at fly. You don't come around Big Mom if you ain't got your wife. Now you gotta fight and you gotta eat a lot of stuff. But I want you to talk about the. I'm gonna talk about the correlation between the corn
Come here,
and
tell
the
us about it,
different
bro.
dance.
Put it out to give you something to talk about while you go up here.
Because you said every corn is a represent every color corn is a representation of the different tribes, and every tribe got a different dance no matter what. And then we keep each other fresh by meeting new tribes and intermingling and teaching each other to dance. So now we got 2 year olds who come out automatically doing the new dance, but not understanding that this is in their soul. It ain't no new dance, and it's like I want to say popcorn music to influence them, but they influence it more than these things ever touch our children because they show the cascading love that our parents never knew they left. My dad, he died, and he didn't know the mark he left. He did not know what the mark he left is because he died from their system. He was doing drugs. It gave him a new heart. Whatever story they gave me, he died because he went back and they gave him a bad batch. But the thing is, no matter how he feared when he died, his he had 5 children, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
got about 25 of them. So our 25 is leaving nothing but the cascading beauty that's that's dancing. And there's so much joy in our family. Like little girls argue, boys argue, father and sons argue. But when we get together, man, we cook and we have such a joy and beauty like cousins that ain't seen each other in a long time and automatically just take care of each other. And then that even spread out more like my daughter and my sister, her godson. She like, don't you be talking to my god brother like that? So it's such a beautiful protection and I will put it once that what was when the sun did that eclipse and Big Mom was talking about that was me that they would come on, man, them birds, let's just go. I'm glad you picked on me because look, there ain't nothing but love out here, and I don't care what they do. We're gonna stand up for it, and they can't beat us, and we all going through the same thing, and they not gonna beat us because they just want to learn something. Man, we ain't gonna do them like they did us. Ain't no sun coming down, ain't no floods coming around. Everybody go get that good loving back into the fold. I
Yeah,
just wanted to hit that.
yeah. Love them back into the circle.
They got no choice.
That's the you telling the people how our culture operate that's different than this new culture that they trying to force upon us. Because this where the concept of the family reunion come from. That don't come from nowhere in the world but here. The whole idea of a family reunion only comes from here. We've been doing it for thousands of years. People in other parts of the world don't do family reunions. We do family reunions. Ain't no big eyes and no little U's. We just need to know who we related to so we can know how to respect them when we bump into them in foreign places.
Ooh. And then look, it's only one faith. So I got this one thing. If I got time, I can read it. But I researched June. I researched June the 4th, and on June the 4th, they say the so-called Torah came down. But the thing is, all three of them, everybody respect the same damn mountain. So why isn't it? Why did they say it's different faiths and just not the one? Because they want to take something from anything. But the whole point of the thing was the spirit came down to everybody. Now you can classify it however they want, right? But I have learned from what I have been through, if I had to speak about the prime curator or God to anybody, I would it ain't no names, it's above names. I just do this. That's it. That
So everybody got a crash out in their family, right? But it's only one person that can make the crash out back down, and she called mama.
She told me, let
See,
me
the
see it.
only one
Yeah.
can the brothers be like, man, I ain't finna tell that, I ain't finna tell that clown nothing. He about to tear something up. You better get out of his way. They already know how he cut. The only one can carry, hey boy, bring your little nappy head tail on over here and get out there. Let them people go about their business. Okay, mama. But then it's gonna come a time in his life he might know 1,000 women. It's just gonna be one. If he hear her voice and he acting up, and she like, "What you think you doing?" Oh, baby, I was just no. That's that mitochondrial switch. Mama gonna use you to test every woman you encounter until she find the one that's gonna love you unconditionally. And then when mama leaves, she's leaving her as your host, your mitochondrial host. That's the sacred union of the true marriage of the heavenly ones married in a heavenly place that's being played out on earth. It's all
Ain't nothing you
spiritual.
can do. It is,
This,
and it's
this is why they
beautiful.
say don't be unevenly yoked. When your mama tell you that girl ain't no good for you, you don't believe her, and then you get drugged through the mud because you ain't listened to your mama when she told you the girl wasn't no good out the gate because you thought you knew better because your heart felt for this female more than it did for the wisdom your mama was dropping on you. We all got them. Like I got sisters and cousins right now. If I bring a rotten bitch around, they calling her
Get
on her
them.
bullshit out the gate. I can't bring her around them and she ain't no rider because they gonna tear her apart. It's gonna be like it's like we put like putting a bleeding goldfish in a bucket of piranhas.
But mama don't change her mind. She might
Mhm.
say the first instinct of it is the truth. Now you can hear whatever you want to hear, but the first thing that mama say is the truth. If mama plead the case, you're gonna have to go back and remember. You it ain't no new shit. It ain't because of what had happened and this and that. No, longevity is only in our time. Like I was just talking about the cascade and things. Um, what happened before it has no bearing on the new site of new revelations or anything. So when mama said at first, this gonna hold even above mama trying to say a different way next time because it
Mhm.
is what it is.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, she ain't gonna change what she told you.
Never. She only
She
gonna
gonna
change the way
she gonna
for
change the way she explained it to you because she's still trying to get it through your thick ass skull. That
thick
mama done
ass.
been there, baby. She done done that. She know what you're going through because she done been through it herself. She already telling you from experience, but we don't want to listen. Look, this how mama test her. Mama is connected to son through unconditional love in the heart chakra. It's
Mama was 60 today. My mama turned 60 today. Just want to throw that one out there. She
happy
just
solar
turned.
return, mama. But look,
Woo.
so while mama loved the son unconditionally, the only way that she could telepathically communicate with a suitor is her love have to be equally unconditional. This is what Freud called the Oedipus complex. The
Said
son
Oedipus.
the Oedipus complex, where the son
Oedipus.
have a predisposition, ain't got nothing to do with him marrying a mom. It got everything to do with her finding somebody that vibrate on the unconditional love frequency. And once you find that female, they talking telepathically, and you the jumper station and don't even know it. They communicate because they both love you the same unconditionally.
And
I
they got
love
the
you for
same
free.
way act. They got the same acts. They got the same ways of.
In a lot of ways, they are very similar. And this
Mhm.
is why he called it the Oedipus complex, right? And he turned it into a psychological um, um, diagnosis.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Now, the father's job for the daughter, right, is similar. He can't allow her to have a son with a guy that's not equally as protective of her as he is, right? If they have a baby, it can only be a girl. The reward come in is that the father will say, "This dude." will look out for my daughter like me. And the reward is when you hit the jackpot. You have a son, right?
That was the first one.
Right. Because this is the gift from the fatherland, the Y chromosome haplogroup,
I'm
right?
gonna have to
So,
watch this again. Come on, please don't
so
stop.
remember the Y chromosome is continuously scanned by the X. So the better of a person you are, the cleaner the scan is, the better replica quality of the child of the father. That's why you got some dude children look just like him, and then some children like, it might be his,
it might be, yeah. But no,
right?
you know, I
You
know
gotta
yours and
actually
mine.
take, yeah, you have to actually take a blood test. But some people you can look
Oh,
at them,
man.
look at, oh, that's definitely his son,
Nah,
just
I ain't
because,
had none of them blood tests. They
right?
look
You come,
Zoe.
the baby
Let's say
came,
bye to Brian.
the baby,
Remember she did the go
yeah,
ahead.
the baby comes through in what you call from a pure place. There's
That nigga
no there's no
salty.
negative karma on the developing child. So he began to take on the best characteristics of the father. That's how genetics is controlled through spirit.
Okay, I got one boy, three girls. You met Zoe. I don't know if you remember you met Zoe. You did the rap about
Mhm.
going to high school. Yeah, yeah, come on. I ain't gonna play with you, mother sucker. She in
Where's she at?
soccer now. She doing good. Zoe, come here. She did the beatbox and she rapped this harmony now. Look, I put her on there. That's
Hey,
harmony.
Steve, how you doing?
Look, she out there. Look, they all look. I couldn't question it if I want to. Come on, come say hi to Rob. Look, we ain't worried about hairdos. All our hair look the same.
Hey, hey,
Remember? Look, she graduated fifth grade, brother.
oh,
I'm going into middle
congratulations,
school.
Steve.
No, I graduated fourth. Fifth grade isn't middle school.
Excuse me. Yeah, and she got good flow now. Um, we
Hey, look,
moving like you said. I'm talking to you on
that's baby
Facebook.
big mama right there. That's you ought to give
Come
her for a
on,
rap
all
number.
of you see what you look. Ain't? They
Look,
on
that's
my
baby big
head.
mama.
She don't play
You call her baby big mama because she corrected you immediately.
immediately. All
No
I'm doing.
hesitation. She wasn't scared to say it. She was confident in what she was saying. And she explained to you the difference in the two things that you could point out.
That's why I knew. Cause remember you read the first time, but she's in a little acting school. She's doing her thing. The boy, it happened a little different, but we great now. He got his own car. He got his own place. And now it's the girls. But the girl, I'm telling you, it's nothing. Hey, come on, don't do that word. It's nothing but cascading. No matter what how I die is, the covenant is solidified because no matter what I do, they're gonna grow in, in their righteousness that come from the sun, that come from us, that come from the light. And not even saying darkness is a bad thing, but be put in this place and captive.
Yeah,
So no matter what the hell I went through, and we can get into it, me and you personal, but it don't matter. It only brought grapes to the wine. It only fermented everything because nothing
that's
can
all they're
be
supposed
stopped.
to do. Everything
Ooh-wee.
you go through is part of developing who you're going to become when you get to your destination of father is the greatest title a man could ever ask for.
What's the word you said? You said the something of the father. It was a while ago in the video. It's called the showing of the father, how the father grow up. How the father become okay. So I can explain it without just guessing the damn words. Like I've been a father and a son. This is the only way I know how to see the creator in this life. Now a mother and a daughter know a different way. But I know how to be a father and a son and to be a great father. Your son asks you for anybody asks you for food, you ain't gonna give him a rock. So we can
Right.
hit the sepulcher, we can hit everything, but I know that the truth is here. And we can call it the heart, whatever you want, but that shit gonna make your head tingle. It's gonna make your feet tingle, and your whole body gonna feel so much joy just at these thoughts in exchange. We gonna
Man,
keep it right
I
here.
look at my children, I just be smiling just as big. I tell you, father is the greatest title a man can ever ask for.
Woo! Be gifted, granted. First of all, you even said it when you looked at Zoe. You said that you might as well just call her Big Mama. Don't hug her too hard because it's gonna hurt her arms with the wind.
Yes, sir.
Hey, like you said, I'm gonna get with you. I've been doing a lot of writing lately. I'm gonna let other people go if you have one more time for somebody else, because you are a damn treasure and a gift to a lot of people. But definitely I want to get to you. What's your Facebook?
Rod Hayes.
Oh, you back? Okay, you just back at the regular Rye Hayes.
Yeah.
All right, well I'm on you. And you remember I invited you to Forks Grill. This is where I started cooking back again. So bring your ass down to Detroit and come eat a little bit, Mr. Chief.
We put something together. Inbox
I know, I don't know what you do, man. Don't tell me shit. I
me.
seen you working out and all the boxing and all the work you have put in. You used to be skinny. I seen this skinny nigga. It was a skinny ride. Talking about I just quit my job before.
Yeah.
I tried. Huh?
It was GM. But look,
Okay,
I
one
was
of them.
I was doing all these back to back fasts back then.
Hmm.
And it took away a lot of my weight. I lost about 70 pounds.
My son, he did a 30-day fast. The son used his name Deanna, same as me. Um, he on this road too. I'm just saying, I seen you skinny. I seen you with big muscles and can fight, but don't fight nobody. The thing about the Hulk, the reason why he was the greatest is because he could destroy everybody and didn't want to fight a damn thing. And this is why I fucks with you, because like nobody can make you mad. I'm still working on that shit in me. You put in a lot of damn work, and we do not put a lot of work in like King do the motherfucker. King Kong, call yourself whatever you want. I call you my brother. I've been following you for a while, as just as long as anybody. All I'm saying is I don't care about what anybody say. When you bring the positive vision that you have in your head about everything into anything, this is the key. You might say I don't mess with that person, but you never dog on them or down on them for anything. Um, and you don't send people for dumbass wars. I'm fucking with you, brother. You introduced me to a lot of things. I heard the birds. I heard Big Mama. I seen the phoenix in the sky. I can go on and on. I do the sun staring. Hopefully Ty's retired. I'm going on a lot. Hopefully Ty's is on that beach, whatever he want to do. But mother
Okay.
sucker.
Look, we just got to create the ability for him to not have to keep running himself ragged. And we're working on it. We ain't there yet.
No,
But Doc,
we
yeah. Dr. G been looking out for him, making sure he don't overwork himself. But she can only do so much because, she can make suggestions. She can't tell him what to do. He gonna do what he gonna
he
do.
gonna be building
If,
shelves and look, he
yeah.
gonna be doing
Well,
shit.
he do that. That's his hobby slash side hustle. It's something that he love to do.
He
He'll
ain't
do
gonna
that.
never stay. He'll do it for free.
Yeah, he'll do it for free. So that's how you be productive in life. You find something you love to do that you're willing to do for free, and that's what you do. And people will honor you, and they'll make you take a payment even if you don't want one.
After they made your ass take a payment, you ain't never want a payment.
Yeah, my feelings used to get hurt when people used to ask for my cash out.
I
But
know
I
that. They
understand
made you take it.
yeah, I understand the law of reciprocity, and as doing the work that I'm doing, I'm not supposed to tell somebody you can't send me nothing because it's blocking their blessing, not mine. They trying to give me a blessing in order to open up theirs. So the channel of reciprocity.
And you gave a shout out for look, much as my brother know, you just gave a shout out for learning something. And a lot of people, I mean, everybody can do that.
Yeah,
I just appreciate you did it right now because they freaking forced you. they forced you to take the kind of thing. Like you better take it, they didn't force you because ain't nobody gonna force Rod to do shit.
I know
Just
what you
like
mean,
I,
though. I know what you're talking about. But they kept on asking.
because we don't charge for gifts that's that's our it's a hobby. It's a
Look, I tell
hobby.
people this all the time. I don't charge for information because my brother and sister bought all the books already. They paid for it.
You
All the
taught
stuff.
yourself courses. You
Right? Yeah. I wrote my own curriculum.
That's what you taught me.
Yeah. I wrote
That's
my
what you
own
taught
curriculum.
me. I'm from Detroit City, man. You popped up at the divine timing. Divine timing is a motherfucker. Um, we taking all the perversion out of everything, and like I say, I appreciate you. I like to hear you got going on now. You getting it together. Look, my it wild. It is what it is, but it naturally grown.
Yeah, but I want to get mine platted up if I could find somebody that can braid it at this length.
Man, you know everybody. Stop play. Anyway, I ain't messing
You
with
see
you.
me pop on here with, looking like I got baby dreads.
You might as well, cause look, they be sticking up sometimes. Just stick right up in the ear, man.
Look,
Um,
we got Lanston checking in.
what I went through, it kind of naturally grew 'em. I went through this thing, and I won't say it was like things trying to get at me. It was only learning and teaching. I cannot fault anything that made me stronger. No matter how low I thought I was, no matter what, I learned how to lay down in a bed of roses and be content and be all right and wake up the next day like everything is already presented, water, clothes, however I want to figure it. Most people couldn't understand it, but it's not up to most people to understand it. I woke up, needed nothing, had nothing, and was all right. People came and got me though and took me to jail. I had a bag full of like bitter herbs and stuff. I learned how to taste. I learned how the herbs taste. I learned how to be fed in this mother sucker.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't consider this experience anything but great.
Look, you don't never hear me crying about doing 16 years.
Man, come
Listen,
on.
listen, the reason you don't hear me crying about it, I didn't do the time didn't do me. I used the time.
And then how many people, okay, it was this poem I read the other day. How many fatherless children, how much love and expression did you like, okay, you did 16 years, but it was okay, I'm tingling. It was somebody every day who got guidance in a different way to help them be better. So I'm
Yeah.
not saying that the system is that's what it's, but in that you it's people who actually was helped. Like you said, I made millionaires. Motherfucker came in there broke, and when they left, they got out here and did something and became a millionaire. Now these everybody want a attrition like a recipe of books. So you need the Bible, or you need Narcotics Anonymous, or you need Alcoholics Anonymous. Um, it's a whole way of things that they put that made them to their success, but never the people in the dichotomy of the heart. Because you can read anything you want to read, but that shit ain't going get out here and effectively do anything. You got a dogma that you believe in, and if we put dogma backwards, that's like am God. Man, I'm not insinuating anything, but it's in transliteration, any vowel is replaceable. So what you actually learning is a way to study yourself, and that's that I'm God kind of thing. And I just popped that one right there.
Yeah. But the MA at the end of dogma is also for mother.
Ma, come on. She said, wisdom said, I was here before everything was formed. Wisdom. So, like we was talking about the three who honor everything. They always want to down the mama. No, the mother. Who's the first God we know when we born? The first God you know is mother. The first thing you know. Honor all the laws of your mother. We can go into any of that, but as my mother told me, when you read that shit, you better consult with your heart first. In the closest place that you can ever pray, like we praying now. I mean, the closest thing you ever pray to God is right here in the heart.
If you say it in your heart, that's where the love resides. That's where the ear of God is listening. You don't gotta say it out your mouth.
You don't. It's best that you don't because sometimes it go a lot of different ways out your mouth.
Yeah.
But
The frequency,
hmm
the projection of the sound like a bullhorn. It goes in the small, out the small hole of the mouth, and broad and expands into. It causes the butterfly effect that produces a Mandela effect.
but here's the thing: to take pervert, we can talk however we talk, but to take the perversion out, to take the perversion that's pressed upon us. Oh, so you this way and that way. The perversion is having any opinion that's not your own. That you're not. That you just want to group with. This is the perversion, and that shit snowballs in any way. My question now, I don't know if I'm taking too much time, but it's the captivity part of how sometimes in our old age, once we hold certain things for so long, it lasts out. Like my uncle, he didn't cuss he wasn't cuss. He was such a cool karate guy, tuba playing, but he had his stroke, right? And after the stroke, he cussed, what the fuck? I want some beep, bloop, bloop, bloop. You know what I'm saying? What's this thing?
So, what you explaining? This is what happened. Suppressing the self. Whatever you suppress is gonna come out sooner or later. So his eruption came out in the form of a stroke. Then his true self stepped forward and say, "Fuck what you talking about. Fuck who you telling."
He was still cool as mudsucker, but
Yeah,
he was
but
more of a kung fu. You know what I'm saying? He was more of a
I
kung
know what you're
fu
talking about because
teaching
he
uncle.
was he was using so much self discipline
Ooh.
that the discipline became an anchor, and the only way to break free was for the stroke to make him revert back to um, his true self.
Balance. You talking balance, Mr. Good Sir.
Yeah,
Before he left, he was very much his balance had equaled out.
and he knew exactly when to cuss you out and when not to.
Now he never cussed me out. He used to
Not you
only thing
can
he
say,
said he
but
used to talk about the women, you know what I'm saying? Well, you gotta get you know what I'm saying? It
mm,
wasn't some if people was messing him over, but for me, nope, he was
he
always the
know
perfect
who to
uncle.
curse out and who not to curse out.
He taught
After
the old ways, like
mm,
pushing down the trees and gardening, and even still after that, he never was like that up until the day he died. Now maybe at his son because of whatever they was going through, but for me, he was the perfect uncle. Even in that, I used to just die about it. Like, hey, look here, nephew.
yeah. Hey, so let me take. I want to take about two more people before I
Please,
wrap it up.
please. Hey, I appreciate you, man.
All the time, man. All the
Hey,
time.
I'm on you. I'm about to inbox your ass. I'm inbox you here too, man. I love you, man. And thank
All
y'all
right.
for listening to us for that long, man. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Okay. I see y'all in the comments. I'm loving the comments. Hey, sweetie pie, how you doing?
You really put me on here. Look, I was over here. I had to send a picture to dispatch. I'm doing stuff. I'm in and out of your live. I know you've seen it.
Mhm.
I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time. I'm on this live. I gotta call you back.
Guess what? We talking now.
That's crazy because it's showing you with still old dude on there. That's crazy on my other phone though. But I'm working, and I've been wanting to catch your lives forever. I don't never. I know you see me hit you and say that like I don't never get no notifications of when you go live, sir.
Well, I've been going live on Facebook because I've been in Instagram jail for about 9, 10 months.
Oh yeah.
Mhm. So now they
Hey
let me
y'all,
out
I'm
of
on Rod Hayes Live.
so they let
Catch
me out of
y'all.
Instagram jail, and here I am. I got found out last weekend I was out, and
Okay.
I thought I had an interview scheduled for the night, but it's for tomorrow. So I was like, let me go on my talk to my Instagram fans.
Hey. Hey,
What,
Rod is the shit. Rod,
what, what you
you
want to talk about?
amazing.
What you want to talk about?
Okay, I'm learning a lot from you. A lot, a lot. I'm learning about myself, just being out here. What do I want to talk about? What we supposed to be doing? Okay, because I'm sick of this shit. Honestly, I don't feel like I'm supposed to be paying rent on my land. Electric is free, water is free. We're getting poisoned consistently. My children are being poisoned. I'm sick of this shit. And
Okay,
I know we need unity. I know we all need to wake up and detox our bodies and, you know what I'm saying, tap in, put your feet in the ground, know who you are, know thyself. But for real though, Rod, like what we supposed to be doing?
okay. First thing, let's take the water and electricity. Water is free until they pollute it.
Okay.
Once it's polluted, you have to pay somebody to clean it up so you can have something to drink. You're not
Okay.
paying for the water. You're paying for them taking shit out the water.
Okay.
But the problem with that is they taking the shit out the water, putting fluoride in it.
Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
making you pay for being put under mind control. Because that's what fluoride is, a mind control drug.
Right. Right.
Right. Okay. The
Hold on.
electricity,
Right.
you're not paying exactly for the electricity. You paying for them to store it in a massive battery and run a facility that'll get it from where it's at to where you at. That's what you're paying for. Right.
Okay.
Now, that being said, what we supposed to be doing depends on our circumstances and situations. If you got children, whatever you're doing to take care of your children is your first priority.
You know it.
And as long as you take care of your children first, if the universe needs you to do something else, you're going to instinctively know because it's going to be directly related to your children. So if you're taking care of your babies properly and the universe needs you to do something, it's only going to allow you to do something where you operating from the energy called mother.
Mm-hmm.
That's the highest frequency that a woman can vibrate at is mother,
Four.
right?
Lion.
So when you get to that frequency, when the
Yeah.
universe, they going to use all of the sluts, the slimy hoes, and all of them before they come get you to do some dastardly deed. They're not going to come get you for that. Not while you vibrating at the mother frequency. If they need a hoe to go bring down the devil, they gonna
Mm-hmm.
send her in there because that's what she already into.
Right.
They not gonna send no soccer mom to go trap the devil. They not gonna use her.
Right.
They gonna use her to organize the soccer picnic, to look over the children with the other mothers there as a network in order for them to know to tell the men, you need to get that sucker out of here because he ain't right around these babies. And the rest of the men gonna march his ass right up out of there. Right? So the universe is gonna use you where your highest frequency is being expressed in your life. So your first priority is to take care of home first. This is called constructive selfishness. You can't lend me $20 if I got to give it back to you tomorrow. I might as well wait till tomorrow, right? You don't
Mm-hmm.
have it to lend me if you can't afford to give it to me. So don't lend me nothing. Either
Right.
give it to me or let me go get it somewhere else because you're not supposed to put yourself over the barrel as a parent where you can't be effective as a parent. And a lot of people like to lend money that they don't have. If you can't afford to give it to people, don't lend it to them. Because
How
the
you know that?
9 out of 10, when you lend it to them, you probably not gonna see it. Y'all gonna fall out about it. So you sowing the seeds of
Feel me?
dissension with the people you care about the most in the name of a dollar.
But I got a natural instinct to help. I don't care about money. I'll make it, but I want to help people. That's in my heart.
It's in your heart, but you can't help nobody until you're in a position to help them. The first rule of helping other people is help yourself first. When you
Yeah, I
get to
feel
a
that.
certain level, you know where you got enough safety net that helping somebody else is not going to knock you off your position.
Right,
You have to secure your position first. You can't be about to fall off a cliff trying to help somebody not fall off a cliff. Both of y'all gonna end up falling. First, you got to
right,
get stable, preventing yourself from falling off the cliff before you reach to help somebody else and stop them from falling off the cliff. It's the same with any kind of help. I'm a strong proponent of everybody can do what they can. It's better to congratulate than player hate. I'd rather do something to help you with your progress in your process than to
hmm
sit here and talk about you and hope you never make it. The same energy it took for me to hope you never make it and wish bad on you, I could have used that energy to help you succeed, and it probably would have helped me somewhere else. But
right,
I was so busy hating on you that I missed my blessing because I was so busy hating on you, it rolled right past me. But had I not been so busy hating, I would have seen my blessing rolling in, my gifts rolling in. I can't see them when I'm focused on the negative of what your life about. That's why
right,
you gotta always now constructive selfishness means putting yourself in a position that when you can help more people when you stable than when you unstable.
right. I feel that.
Yeah.
I done came
So
a long way though, Rod.
yeah.
I
You
can
know
send
what
my mama some money. I
yeah.
give my daddy some money. You know, and I think God is clearing people out of my life though that I've had. Keeping me
If
stagnant like energy vampires.
yeah.
And my circle small now. So if you in my circle now, I'll look out for you. But I
Mhm.
get I do get shitted on a lot now. Let me just tell you that.
The worst thing that a good hearted person can do is help an ungrateful motherfucker. That's the
But I
worst thing
stay
you can do.
blessed though. You can't hurt me. I stay blessed.
Yeah. But look,
I'm gonna get it back
the only
tenfold.
listen, the only reason why it's the worst thing that a good-hearted person could do is help an ungrateful person is because they narrow the bandwidth of return. Gratitude opens the bandwidth. When you
Mm,
grateful and you realize don't nobody owe you nothing and you don't owe nobody nothing, and when you operate from that position, anything you do it from a place of gratitude,
right.
right? And the reciprocity is open in a two-way channel. But when they only care about themselves and they don't care about you, and they want you to use your resources to benefit them, and they don't care what happened to you when you help them, that closes us a one-way channel. It's less
Mm,
bandwidth. Therefore,
mm.
you can't even get your rightful return because that rotten motherfucker standing in the way.
Why? How he know what to say to me?
Tell the truth and shame the devil is all I can tell you.
You feel it, don't you? You knew what to say to me. You knew what I needed to hear. That's crazy. Cause I be thinking I'm doing good.
Yeah, but it's also you can be doing too much good. Too much good is when instead of helping people, you become an enabler. You enable them to misuse you. They not using you no more. They misusing you now. Right? If I know every month my phone bill coming up, why do I gotta wait till my phone get turned off for you to pay my bill? I'm
Mm,
taking advantage of you by on the slide. You don't even
right.
see it. And that's also blocking the reciprocity channel. It's closing the bandwidth.
Mm,
And the giver that's becoming the facilitator, it's like putting a whole bunch of stuff in your lane right before you get ready to take your trip. Now you're running over everything. right? But when you open the bandwidth, your lane is clear. Both sides of the street is clear, going both directions. That's why you have to be cautious of who you help. Because if you help the wrong people, they close the bandwidth because they only in it for themselves. But you help the grateful people, the
Right.
gratitude, not only do it opens the bandwidth, but it multiply your return in increments of 10.
Mm.
So good people helping good people get you further than good people helping rotten motherfuckers. Because I ain't got nothing for them.
There's too many rotten motherfuckers though. They be talking good too.
Yeah, and all you got to do if once you see what you seen and you know what you know,
Right.
it's up to you to make the choice whether you want to help or not.
Right. Right.
Some people think that they can make you help them because you got it and they want you to help them instead of them going to get it on their own. You can't make me do nothing. I'm gonna do what the fuck I was gonna do, whether it's gonna benefit you or not. Right? You can't tell me that my resources say I can give you $100 today, right?
Hmm.
But you want $200. I can't give you $200. I can
Right.
give you $100. You can't make me give you the other $100. Matter of fact, I tell you what, I can't even give you that now.
Right.
I just remembered I got a bill to pay,
Hmm.
and it ain't this one. I'd rather go buy a whole bunch of bags of potato chips and feed them to ducks and fish than to give an ungrateful motherfucker a dime.
Hey, you know I be. Look, I got my bread right here. I so do be throwing it out the window. You hear
Yeah.
me?
Because every animal that you feed is always grateful. You always gonna get a
Yeah.
return.
Yeah.
You
That's
always gonna
real.
get a return.
That's real.
Every animal you feed is grateful. I ain't never heard of an animal that you feed that's ungrateful. All of the animals, they automatically grateful. They automatically open the bandwidth. And that's why you see the old cat lady always putting out for the strays, even though she got a house
Yeah.
full of cats, right? You see the one lady, she keep a bird house and a bird feeder in her backyard because she like to watch the birds, right? Another lady might plant a garden full of flowers so she can watch butterflies and bumblebees all day.
Right.
Because that reciprocity is going to be wired into that, and that effort you put in is going to be returned in
That's
increments of
crazy.
10.
You don't even know what you saying to me.
The
I got a
problem,
bird feeder in my window. I
the
buy
problem,
bird food
yeah.
every week. Them motherfuckers, by the time I get home, it's gonna be gone. I just left day for yesterday. Filled it up. That's dope.
You grab a drink.
Ah, okay. So I was telling my mama today about what you were posted about the Negritos.
Which one?
Um, that they indigenous to the Americas.
Yeah, that's the scientific name that they gave to the so-called African American. They call it Negrito,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whereas the African is called Negro,
Right.
and we thinking they're the same. They're not.
It's not the same.
According to DNA, they're two different strains of DNA, but you can see reflections of the strain of both on each side of the water because we've been intermarrying with African royalty for thousands of years, long before Columbus got here.
Right. Right.
That's why we didn't have a lot of birth defects until they brought defective people over here.
Where they come from?
Laboratory.
I just wanted you to clarify.
Look, they was manipulating DNA in the laboratory,
That's what I
trying
thought.
to make a being that they can put in perpetual servitude, but that violated galactic law. And in
Mm.
the occult circles, it's called the Great Debauchery because it was men playing God when
Mm-hmm.
God already had a method of reproduction established on Earth. If you don't come through the portal, you ain't supposed to be here. That's the
Mm.
rule. That's not the exception. So all that Adam and Eve bullshit, that what womb they come through. If you
That's what
can't
I be
tell,
telling. Where did you?
what
How did think about it? How did a how in the how? Excuse my language. How did a woman come from a man's rib?
what
Yeah,
womb was
y'all
she
don't think
in?
about that.
What womb did she grow in? What womb did that sucker grow in?
And then people be fighting over that shit. Want to argue you down. Make
They
it
will
make sense.
listen. They will kill you about that bullshit.
Hey,
They they doctrines. They will go to war about some fairy tale bullshit because they believe
I'm
it to be
telling
true.
you.
They tell you that's where you know that belief is worse than knowing.
Boy, Rod, I love you. I swear, hey man, nah, for real. I've been on a spiritual journey ever since my brother got killed, and it woke me up, and I came across you, and I've been on you ever since. I can listen to you talk all day. I don't gotta see you on live. I'm gonna catch you on YouTube. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
You is one of the realest, cause you know they be killing y'all.
Yeah, they tried. That shit don't work on me though.
I'm sending you protection. You hear me? Leave it. Don't leave him alone.
Listen, I got some spiritual warriors who've been protecting
I
me
know
from
you.
birth.
Okay.
From birth. My mama took me to every old lady on the land that she could find when I was a baby to touch me.
I know that's right.
Make sure I get the big mama rub.
Yeah. Yeah.
I ain't worried about it. They tried to kill me a whole bunch of times. Oh, that shit don't work. It
Me
ain't because
too.
I'm too good to get killed. Look,
Okay.
I be telling people I ain't let a nigga kill me in the street because I ain't know what to tell my mama.
Okay.
I couldn't figure out how I was going to explain it to my mama, so I wouldn't let nobody kill me.
I know that's right.
And the only way to keep them from killing you at that point is you got to be steps ahead of what they thinking.
Yeah.
They expecting me to be here. I'm not going to be there. I'm already seeing the bullshit coming. I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
Right?
Trust
But
your gut.
yeah,
Trust your fucking gut. Do you hear me, people? Tell your kids that. That is so vital in everything we do. If you listen to your gut, you'll never go wrong.
yeah. Your instincts, they there for a
To be
reason.
on point. On
Your,
point.
your emotions is your navigation system. You have to calibrate it. If you don't never calibrate your emotions, they just going to pop up randomly. Then you can't use that to navigate nowhere. That's like your GPS keep jumping to locations and directions.
Stop talking shit about me, bro. I'm too nice.
You teach the babies first when you feel like you mad. Stop and think about the situation and see if you should be mad.
Right.
You have to first determine that you got the right emotion for the stuff going on around you, and that's how you gonna know if you making the right choice when you slap slide about somebody's mouth or not. Some people got you can't help it. In order to do what's right, sometimes you gotta punch a motherfucker in the mouth. That's just the way it is. And just because you're doing what's right, you sometimes gotta punch
I
somebody
want
in
to
the mouth.
punch a lot of motherfuckers, but I don't. I ain't got, they take me to jail. You hear me? I ain't going back to jail. I ain't
Look,
going. They lock me up quick. I ain't going.
look, I'm gonna tell you like this. If you stay in your mother energy and do what you're supposed to, take care of them babies, they won't have no reason to take you to jail.
I know. I was talking about other people. I don't hit my kids.
No, I'm
Them
talking about in
moms.
general.
Ah,
In
okay.
general. Because
Yeah,
you
yeah,
you
yeah.
might have to slap somebody down, but you gonna be so right when the police get there, they're gonna be like, we ain't taking her to jail. You shouldn't have been fucking with her.
Right, right.
That's because you in the right energy.
Look, I'm going to crash out. I'm going to crash out.
It's one in every family.
Huh?
I say it's one in every family.
I'm the one.
I'm gonna crash out in this family.
But I'm the
But I
healer.
don't crash. I ain't gonna crash out on no dumb shit though.
Nah, I speak nothing but truth. That's why motherfuckers don't like me. Because I ain't going to lie to you, nigga. I don't give a fuck. You wrong. You know you was wrong. Say sorry. You heard
And
me?
you know what? As crazy as it may sound, most of the time when you talk to people like that and they know they wrong, they gonna apologize.
Yeah. If they real, but nah, these niggas ain't accountable.
Even look, even the fake ones, when you that direct and you telling the truth and
Yeah.
you tell them that you know you wrong and
Yeah.
you need to apologize, most of the time, like 8 out of 10 times, they gonna apologize if they wrong. Now,
They
if they ain't wrong, then you might look. If they ain't wrong, then you might catch something to the mouth. They might jab you one if they right. But when you call them out and they wrong and they know they wrong, normally because you called them out, they don't want to smoke.
right.
They be like, you know what, you right. I was wrong. I ain't mean it. I was going through something with my baby mama. It had nothing to do with you. And I was taking it out on you. My bad, right? Because you telling it's coming from the place of truth. And
Right.
one thing about falsehood, as they say in the Moorish Science Temple, with truth on the manifest, falsehood flee, right? And then you can correct somebody respectfully, and they'll accept it better than if you correct them disrespectfully.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, so I'm usually saying it ain't what you say, it's how you say it
Right.
sometimes.
I
You
don't
gotta,
like unaccountability. When you try to like play victim, that's gonna make me mad.
yeah, I get away from them.
And I'll be like, oh
Then the
yeah,
same, yeah, then the same ones that start some shit with you, shoot you, and call the police and say you
you
started.
hoe ass nigga.
That's them Charleston white niggas.
It's- Okay, so what you said about the Moorish Science Temple, I've been looking into that. But I heard you say one time there ain't even no need for it
No,
because it's over.
yeah, we done with that.
It's
That
done.
yeah, all that's more Science Temple. That's Peace Stone Nation. Stone running. I'm a GD. If it wasn't true, I wouldn't tell it to you.
I'm just playing.
Serious. Angel Bay is the lawman.
Mm,
He the chief that supposed to enforce the law on the land. That's why they took him out of the picture. They wasn't allowed to kill him, so they gave him life. Tribes need to be aware. The more aware we is, the more we know how to support him. Right? He got caught up in the COINTELPRO exercise. His name was on the paper with a whole bunch of other names. They had like 300 people, and by 67, they had like 300 names on paper of potential leaders that they wanted to neutralize, and his name was on the list. That
mm,
should be enough to get a presidential pardon because it's domestic warfare. He's a political prisoner and a casualty of war. Our people is the problem because they think he's just a stark raving mad
mm,
psychopathic gang chief because they don't tell you that gang mean tribe. You don't know he a real chief with the blood of the land of the old Mississippian clans, right? You don't know his history, and you letting these people tell you who he is. Malcolm X told us the media will make your enemy look like your saviors and your savior look like your enemy.
mm.
Don't fall for the media hype. Malcolm told us that in '63. And the
Well,
media still telling us who we need to accept and reject in our community. They will make an allegation that's 100% false because when it get in the gossip circle, it don't matter whether it's true or false. That shit juicy. That's some juicy gossip right there. I got to tell girl, let me tell you what happened. This barbershop fodder for bullshit.
mm-hmm.
You know, that's why I be like, if they ain't here, I don't want to talk about them unless we talk about getting them a gift or something. Why would I want to entertain a conversation, a long drawn out conversation about somebody that's not present? They can't defend themselves if we tell them the truth or a lie. They
Right.
can't say, yeah, I did it or no, I didn't. And we sitting here entertaining that conversation. We wrong. Grown folks ain't supposed to be doing that. That's what children do. And that's how you know that they use the educational system to arrest our development at 6 years old. So
Mm.
I tell them in a heartbeat, everybody's 6 years old till they prove to me they're adult in
Oh.
basic conversation. They mean they might be 30 years old, but they still got a 6 year old mentality,
I'm trying to tell you.
you know.
We brain banging, not gang banging. Look, we be listening to you, Rod. You hear me?
Yeah. Hey, look, I just be telling the truth. I be
You
so
do.
sincere, and people be thinking I be making shit up or lying. I don't be lying. I be
You be
exactly what I'm telling you, and I can go get the receipt to
eyes,
show
your
you.
whole. You can just tell. You can just look at you and tell. Like, I want to know how you know what you know. You know what I'm saying?
hmm And that's why I be coming with receipts.
You
Because then
tap
when I
in.
come with the receipts, you be like, oh, wait, I thought he was crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what he talking about, right? The goal is just to wake the tribes up to the fact that we always been here, gonna be here, and ain't going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere.
They got y'all chasing the reparation carrot on the stick.
Hmm.
I don't want reparation. I want restoration.
Thank you.
You keep your reparations and give me back my
Okay,
birthright.
that's not enough.
You
This
know?
or shit.
Yeah. If you give me back my birthright, I don't need your reparations.
Look, Chinese come from China. Japanese come from Japan. Jamaicans come from Jamaica. But we, Negro, nah. Y'all colored. Nah. Y'all African American. Nah. Y'all black. Why do you think that is? Cause they
George
on our
George Washington challenge. We're
cause
gonna
they on our shit.
we're gonna scramble their history up and see if they can remember who they is and what side of the water they came from. That's the George Washington challenge. That's what it say. We're
I
gonna
hope I
treat them bad. That's what it say. We're gonna treat them bad. We're gonna miseducate them. We're gonna bar people from telling them who they truly are. Then we're gonna put this sorcery on them to make them forget who they was.
mm,
Spin them around in the circle with something to find your way home.
mm.
Blindfolded. No, that don't work on me. I don't fall in the category of the niggas, so you can't hide it from putting it in a book because I'm gonna go dig it up.
I know that's right.
I'm the type of person I'll read 500 books just so I can tell you the one book you need for to understand what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Other people too intellectually lazy. It don't mean they less intelligent. They might be smarter than me. It's a whole bunch of people smarter than me, but they don't know more shit than I do.
Right.
They might be able to solve that math problem faster than me, right? But they don't know more shit than I know.
Right.
They might be able to mechanically break an engine down and rebuild it. Still don't know more shit than I know. Not because I'm better than nobody. It's just because of the work put in the library. Because my
Yep.
chief told me we need to get out the street gang banging and get in the library and start brain banging.
Yep.
And then it fell on me. It's my turn. What do I got to do, chief? Brain banging. Suck, I told you. We don't need no more hustlers. We don't need no more drug dealers, no more pimps. We don't need no more B&E artists, no more mercenaries. We don't need none of that. All we need is somebody that's going to educate themselves above the condition. We don't
Mm.
need 100 of y'all. We only need one. But if we get 100 of y'all, that's going to make it even better. Each one
Man.
teach one. We all going to reach some, right? So let the one be the spark that lights the candle of the many. I don't
Yeah.
got no problem, right? I don't mind diving on a grenade if y'all gonna do something with y'all life, but I'm not diving on no grenade and you gonna sit on the couch and eat bonbons and watch soap operas for the next 40 years.
Yeah.
It ain't worth it to dive on the grenade for your ass at that point.
For
I'm a
real.
crash out, but I ain't no damn fool.
Right.
I will crash the fuck out, but I'm not gonna crash out on no dumb shit. I tell all of the youngsters that come around being, I'm like, the rule number one, no dumb shit. Uncle Ryan, what's dumb shit? Anything that you raped, beat up, or locked up is dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do no dumb shit.
Right.
So that's rule number one. No dumb shit. Once you get them past the dumb shit, now you can make progress because now they want to know, well, if that's dumb shit, what's not dumb shit? Studying is not dumb shit. Working out is not dumb shit. Getting yourself physically and mentally in shape is not dumb shit. Being of service to your mother and your siblings is not dumb shit. That's pretty fucking brilliant if you ask me.
Yeah. Get your mind right.
Yeah. And your
Your,
ass a problem.
your greatest asset or your worst enemy.
Yeah.
And the shit we eating is fucking up our mental, our energy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's because they deliberately poison us. Most of the food our
Them
body can
herbs,
withstand. Yeah. Look, most of the food our body could withstand if they wasn't saturated with different types of poisons,
right,
microtoxins,
right,
artificial this and manufactured that, petroleum phosphates and all that stuff and don't need to be in the food. We was eating
right.
thousands and thousands of years preserving food without a refrigerator. Now let that sink in. We
Man,
didn't. We was preserving food without a refrigerator. We didn't need a refrigerator because we knew how to preserve food. But when we let all of the old ways be systematically removed from us, we don't know nothing about canning no food no more. We gonna go buy cans of food because we
mm-hmm,
don't know nothing about canning.
mm-hmm,
Half of us don't know what a mason jar is. That's why it's called a mason jar, because it's a secret. It's an open secret, just like the masons,
mm-hmm.
right? So when you look at how they doing us, they poisoning the food because they poisoning us by proxy, right? They use pesticides. They know that the pesticide build up over time causes cancer, carcinogens. Because if you read the pesticide containers, say long-term exposure may cause cancer.
Mm,
So why is you putting it on my food unless you're
right,
trying to create cancer? That's why we got to get back to the matriarchy. And the matriarchy, the first thing they ask is, how does it affect the children and how do it affect the planet? And if either one of those is negative, it's an automatic hard no. Ain't nothing to negotiate.
right, right.
Then the first two things that the big mamas ask, how it's going to affect the babies, how it's going to affect the planet. And if
Mm,
any one of them come back negative, it's going to be a negative effect. We can't do that, baby. That's not going to happen over here. Under patriarchy, though, the one who pays the biggest bribe gets the right to do the most dirt.
mm. We got to get back to the old ways.
Yeah.
That's it. My
Yeah.
Grammys used to garden, make jams and shit.
It's going to take
I
us a
got
couple of generations of reconditioning before we really get back into the swing of that.
that's
Because
what I was about to ask you.
there's too many of us
Like,
that farm life feel like slavery. And the legend left in the mind of the people about slavery make them run away from farm living so they can give our farms to somebody else. Martin told us all about it. They undergirded the European peasants with farmland, and not only that, they gave them machines to mechanize their farms, and not only that, they gave them zero interest loans in order to maintain their farms, and not only that, and the list goes on. I can keep going on, take the whole speech, right? But Martin told us everything they did.
I'm listening. I gotta get back to work. These motherfuckers then walked out here looking for this damn trailer. Y'all know y'all. I'm early.
Yeah. But look, I'm gonna let one more person come up before I cut off because I got I'm
Right. I'm gonna get back with you.
okay.
I appreciate you letting me on here.
I ain't
But
no problem.
you just answered what I was gonna ask you. The last thing I was gonna say. How long is this gonna take? I
Yeah.
hope I get to see it. But if I don't, I'm gonna come back and see it.
The
Because
process
I'm
is processing.
here for a reason.
The process is processing.
We here though.
Yeah.
We here though. And shed fear every day. That shit ain't real. It's false evidence appearing real. It's in your
Yeah.
mind. And then if you know this ain't your first life, what the fuck is you scared for? Do it. Do everything you always wanted to do. Play the piano, whatever it is. You feel me? But I love you, Rod. Thank you. I
All right,
appreciate you.
Stevie. I'll talk to
Hey,
you later.
you let me know this shit real for real. Because all day, what I've been on thinking, and then to talk to you, and I'm about to get off. It's the 4th family reunion time. I told you about my granny, right?
Say it again.
You remember what I told you about my grandma?
I think so.
What my granddad did?
Wait a minute. I don't know. That might be. I, I remember you telling me something about your grandma. I can't remember exactly what it was.
And my granddad killed my grandma on the 4th of July. We have our family reunion every 4th of July.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I do remember that story.
Yeah, that was a while ago, though. Because I've been trying to
Mhm.
catch you ever since.
Yeah.
But
All
okay,
right,
Rod.
Stevie. I'm gonna take somebody else up before I wrap it up.
I ain't leaving. Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, they took all my requests down. I want Kelly. You still in there, Kelly? Well, I guess that's it. I got a question over here. Let me see what the question is. Um. Okay. So whoever was in that was waiting to come up, Instagram took y'all down. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. But I'm gonna wrap this up. It was a pleasure for y'all to sit here and listen to me babbling. But hopefully we all had a chance to learn something. And uh Sarkissus, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, say they had a book they wanted to share. I was gonna try to pull them up, but they didn't come up and when I tried to pull them up. So inbox me the book, a picture of the cover or the title of the book or the something, and I pull it up when I get a chance. All right, y'all. It was a pleasure. I appreciate the presence of the people coming to show support. Keep your minds made up. We ain't taking no more. And don't participate in the bullshit. All right. Peace out, fam.